Oh, it's time. Wednesday, it's Watercraft Network Day. The original Bad Boys of PWC podcast, the brand the haters can't stand. You know me. I'm Diddy, Biggie. Bad Boy rocking the house. Got an intern over there. I think he's looking at Valentino Lescano's Facebook page already. He's totally, look at him. Look at him. He's like.
I think Valentina blocked him.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that, Val. Oh, we'll put a call into you.
I'd block him.
Come on, Val. The intern, when things get out of control, we'll
He's
rein
harmless.
the intern in. Right now, it's just
he's harmless.
It's an unhealthy obsession, but he is harmless. And we got super producer Bishop's back.
It's the best to maintain your passion.
Oh,
well, yep, he's
super
back.
producer Bishop does the best to maintain his passion. Yeah, you got that.
Or
little
is he
plug
trying to
in
tell
there.
Reese to maintain his passion?
I just wanted to hear Lick O'Malley.
He intern maintains his passion for Valentina.
This is true.
That's what I was doing.
But yeah, so Wednesday we're back. Lots going on. You know, rolling into the season, man. We're so busy here. You know, we just got so much going on between the wheeler and the boats. You know, the skis we got working on here, the trailers that we're working
Wheeler's almost done.
Wheeler's almost done.
I was ripping the wheeler around today.
Grand Nationals Blaster's almost done. You know,
now we got a new project.
Yeah, we got Interns HX here.
Interns HX.
You know, gonna have to, play with that a little bit. Put some Pro Watercraft handling components on that boat.
I wouldn't even worry about it. Just put the buoys or the floaties.
Oh, get him some swimmies.
Yeah.
We'll get him some swimmies before he gets out there. Maybe we'll have to make sure we get him a little shower cap so he doesn't get that gel in his hair wet.
He would look cute in a shower cap.
Yeah. So
he's got to get that hair wet.
oh, please. HX.
There's no question he's getting that hair wet.
Hey, if you're not swimming, you're not having fun. That's my philosophy.
We got some fresh and salty beach carts we're putting together.
Fresh and salty going together for Pro Watercross. Pro Watercross coming up really.
Good. They look good too.
Yeah, that Sebring race coming up really soon. Looks like there, a lot of excitement generated around that. It's looking like going to be a stout field down there. A lot of people excited to get back out.
You know what I'm just hoping for is every race happen.
Oh, unlike last year?
Yes.
Yeah, hey,
That's all. That's it.
It's tough. A lot of these municipalities, need those tourism dollars, and
well, Jet Jam seemed like they held a pretty decent event this weekend.
Jet Jam looked like
it was rounds 1 and 2.
It was really, really. Any of you who don't follow Jet Jam, AWSA Racing, Jet Jam, looked like they had a really, really good turnout this past weekend.
Did you see who was racing?
I saw some of the action, but I didn't.
You didn't hear who was racing?
You talking about Gocher?
25-year hiatus or whatever it was?
It's pretty good to see Hall and Harry back out there on a Pro Watercraft racing equipped Kawasaki SXR. Great to see all the old timers get out there, man. I don't know how they do it. I mean, after running closed course for 30 years, I can barely get 2 laps in without
I had
vomiting.
hurt for a week.
My body is just it's had a good run. It's had a really good run. So it's a young man's game. But kudos to everybody who went out and supported Jet Jam this past weekend, Jet Jam Racing. Obviously, find them on social media, AWSA. Doing a lot of good things out west, real organic, natural grassroots
A
racing.
lot of live feeds. I mean,
Yeah.
there's still. You hop on Facebook.
Yeah, they didn't have a stream this past weekend. They weren't streaming anything. There was a lot of
There was-
people going live and putting
Yeah.
videos up. Saw some deuce racing, some 550 racing.
There were some good looking deuces out there.
There are some good, there were, and you know what? There were a lot of 550. I don't see, I don't think there's anywhere in the country that pulls more 550s than those Jet Jam races.
Well, did you notice between the 550s, the Square No Super Jets, and I think there was some 750 SXs?
yeah.
Every boat, pro watercraft.
Oh yeah. Look, if pro watercraft handling components, I mean, there's no question that they're really the go-to in terms of.
That's their backyard too.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, when you take the old school boats, when you take talking, the older super jets, not the new 4-stroke, which I'm sure Pro Watercraft will have that boat, dialed in like it's on rails. But any of the square nose super jets, the earlier round noses, like you said, the Cowie 750s, 550s, X2s, blasters.
Every one of them.
Yeah, HXs, all of those old, really popular closed course boats. If you're looking for any type of handling assistance, you really have to look no further than Pro Watercraft Racing. They really, really are just.
Tour Pumps just came out. I said, can't wait for Sebring, Florida.
Yep.
Down there, Pro Watercross, and Brian Brave the Wave.
Oh, well, look, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it's fun. It's a good thing, Torrance on, because we're going to talk a little bit about the Daytona Hurricane. We're all psyched for Sebring opening round of the Pro Watercross Tour. We had hoped to have AJ Handler on from Pro Watercross tonight, but obviously, just logistically, he has a lot going on dealing with municipalities, regulating authorities, a whole host of things going on with him. Busy guy this time of year, so we really wanted to get a little bit of talking about the 2022 Daytona Free Ride to benefit Roswell Park, and that
raffle ski.
Yeah, that Daytona Free Ride is sponsored and presented to you by Torrent Pumps, and we're working with Torrent to build a Polaris Hurricane conversion. A lot of you have seen the videos on our page on Sundays when we go live. We're actually almost done with our own Yamaha conversion Polaris Hurricane, and we really wanted to give some love to SBT. Got to give big round of applause to SBT. Spoke to Jeremy.
Why does this feel like a knockoff the Howard Stern show?
Oh, come on. If we made a tenth of Howard's salary, we would never have to do this show
Dude,
again.
I'd want to hear more applause.
my favorite is the little short black guy,
Beetlejuice.
That dude, that when they get going with him,
Oh.
I just piss myself.
Did you hear Beatles' new song with Snoop Dogg?
Huh?
Go on YouTube.
Oh, my-
Beatle recorded a song with Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
You
wow.
won't believe it. It's unbelievable. But we digress. We got to get back to. We got to
Sorry,
get back
sorry,
to.
sorry.
Yeah. We got to get back to the conversion cane because, we had a great phone call with Jeremy from SBT this week, and SBT so generous in stepping up and donating a 760 Rebound 760 motor for the Polaris Hurricane conversion, the Torrent Pumps Polaris Yamakane, as we're going to refer to it, and SBT Watercraft Superstore has jumped in and donated a lot of parts, as has Hot Products. Hot Products, a lot of love going out to them. We've also had some riders that have.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, the best part is not just coming from leading industry. Folks like
entities.
that.
Yeah, Yeah, you have guys like Bruce Fisher, one of the stand-up riders, immediately donated because he knows it's for Daytona. And our thing is this, you know, um, we're just assisting Torrent Pumps in putting this boat together. We're going to hand it off to Brian. Hopefully, they're going to be able to get that boat to some of the pro watercross tour stops, some of the free rides, and maybe a recreational ride or two.
Hmm.
But the big thing is we want to encourage anybody who wants to help out in any capacity in donating to this build, whether you want to do some marketing of it to help Roswell Park, help Torrent Pumps in the Daytona free ride for 2022. We're glad to put naming rights, your decal on that boat. We already know we're going to have Michigan Wave Makers represented on there. We're going to have Carolina Watercraft Club represented on there. Anybody else who wants to help in any capacity, you want to donate,
including monetarily.
yeah, you
Well,
want to donate,
right.
you can don't send. You're not sending anything to us. Talk to
Well,
Torrent Pumps.
Yeah, then that's the other thing is when I'm putting flyers together, I will put your logo
That's a good point.
on the flyers.
Yeah, because and it's funny because we told SBT earlier this week that we don't have the flyer done for the Yamakane. It's not officially done yet, which we will.
Well, SBT is on every flyer I make.
Right, right. But I told SBT, obviously that their logo would be prominently present. But anybody out there, look, it's not about us. It's not about Torrent Pumps. It's not about SBT or Watercraft
About
Superstore.
Roswell Park.
It's exactly right. It's everybody is affected by cancer on this planet.
Or has known somebody.
Yeah, or you will be affected by it in your lifetime. And what Daytona Freeride has done in conjunction with Torrent Pumps over the past couple of years is an amazing thing. They're generating thousands of dollars for Roswell Park Cancer Research Institute from a personal watercraft event. It's really a great thing that they're doing, and we're encouraging anybody and everybody. If you love us, show some love, get a hold of Torrent. If you hate us, it's not about us. It's about the community. It's about giving back, and it's about really putting together a unique machine that's likely not going to be replicated.
It's going to be a fun playboat.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, is it going to be the ideal surf boat? No, but I guarantee you, a guy like Gomez can take the thing out there and send it and make it look pretty damn badass.
Somebody's gonna send it.
Yeah,
Oh, of course.
I just ask for some video or pictures.
yeah. I mean, well,
That's all I ask.
I mean, look, we're going to have to be there. There's no question about it. I mean, all the work that's going into this boat, and
Also, that
know-
means I'll be videoing it.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm expecting you to
You'll
throw.
be working.
I'm expecting you to throw your Speedo on there and take it out and send it.
Yeah.
Rock your jet pilot vest and your Speedo, and
I let that. Jody borrowed that last year, so I got to get it back.
your
The
Speedo, or your
Yeah.
jet pilot vest.
No, the Speedo.
I knew he
I'm not
likes
letting him
it.
borrow my jet pilot.
Is that the
vest.
Captain America one
Yeah.
with the logo up front?
Yeah. The little logo.
But in all seriousness, look, we're encouraging anybody to help out. You want to get your logo, your group's logo, your club, your ride entity, any of your businesses onto the boat. We'd really appreciate your help. Your logo will be represented on the flyer and on the ski. It's a great, unique build.
Well-
For those of you that don't know, may not know what we're talking about. We're taking a Polaris Hurricane, which was only made in '96 and '97, and what we've done is we've been able
We
to.
pretty much got half that was made in the garage.
It was what?
Half of the Hurricanes made are in the garage.
Yeah, that's a good point. We may have half of the survivors here, in terms of what's left for Canes.
Let me guess. You found a Captain America
I swear. he
Speedo,
did.
right?
I
All
swear
right.
to God, dude.
All
ordered
right,
it.
intern.
Intern's giggling over there, and what I'm thinking is
He ordered in a small,
he's gonna order him a
medium.
Captain America medium.
All right, so John Suggs says, "Why is Coast Guard limited PWC to 70 miles an hour, but not but not boats?"
Limited them where?
Their
I'm not
speed.
sure.
All
he'll
the
probably
boats are
respond.
GPS locked at 69 to 70 miles an hour. All the newer 4 strokes, 300, 310 horsepower boats. and it's a safety issue.
But it sounds like
so
he's.
it's a rev limiter.
Yeah,
It sounds like he's
it's a
talking.
GPS lock.
Gotcha.
It just sounds to me like he's talking about, speeds being limited in a certain body of water
No.
or area.
No, in general, those boats are GPS locked.
He
Flat
just
out.
said-
You're not
he's-
going until you put a tune in them, and you go in and flick the little button to say turn the GPS lock off. That's when you start getting in to the higher speeds on these bigger boats.
Well, he's saying that the Coast Guard's limit PWC to 70 miles per hour.
Right.
It's a
yeah, it's
safety
not.
issue.
It's not even 70. And here's the deal.
It's 69.
Yeah, here's the deal. The manufacturers, the personal watercraft manufacturers, the PWIA, which is the Personal Watercraft Industry Association that lobbies for personal watercraft, actually have an arrangement with the United States Coast Guard where personal watercraft are limited to under 70 miles an hour. And a lot of people ask why. Ooh, yeah, we're hearing the boos now. But, in all seriousness, to give someone a machine out of a dealer showroom that does 70 miles an hour is enough to get them and everybody else on the waterways in a lot of trouble.
Well, most of the people that follow us are pretty experienced riders.
They are, but we get a lot of new riders too.
We still have a lot of new riders.
And the new riders need to understand, that you really have to become acclimated with the vessel. Personal watercraft respond. I mean, I've been riding a lot of time for a long time, and I'll still get on a machine and it will respond in a manner that it's never done that when you're never responded that way. And when you're riding super aggressively, you have to be prepared for the vessel to react.
Well, no machine rides the same as another.
Can put identical,
Right. Go ahead.
No, you're right. You can put identical machines together, and you can ride one and then the next one, and they'll both handle and feel a little bit differently. But the Coast Guard does that for a reason. And it's a safety reason. I mean, it's purely out of safety. Personal watercraft have a very high collision rate, very high vessel-to-vessel collision rate, and stationary object strikes. And it's no secret, people get really injured on jet skis every year, not just here in North America, but throughout the world.
And you don't they're being gracious at limiting them at 68 and 69 miles an hour.
I can't even imagine getting in the ocean and doing 70. I mean, unless it's
Yeah,
flat.
I mean, you got to give a lot of these riders credit. You see a lot of.
I mean, what's your GP? The GP 1800.
72.
That's still pretty
They're
fast.
It's incredibly fast. I mean,
Because I only can get it to like 69, 70, and then Matt gets on it.
It's
So,
gone.
yeah, you got to.
100 pounds
Well,
less.
it's a 100-pound weight differential, too. I mean,
But it's done intentionally.
True.
And again, these boats are such high performance boats. I mean, look, the real. I'm not as concerned with the top speed on a watercraft because typically most riders only get up to top speed and then they let out of it a little bit, and they'll run 62 or 64.
Mhm.
What really worries me more is how quick the new watercraft are. How much, I mean, you don't realize, and it's funny, the way you can tell, and you can tell by the old school riders, back in our day when everybody was running two strokes, your closing speed was so much slower.
Mhm.
And now, for example, if you see geese or you see ducks in the water,
you're on them.
back in our day, when we were running heavily modified two strokes, you would see the actual waterfowl birds be able to get out of the way with plenty of distance.
Mhm.
Now, when you're on a four stroke that's much quieter, accelerates much faster, and really makes that closing speed so much smaller, you notice if you're paying attention when you're a rider, you can get a hell of a lot closer to Canadian goose unintentionally. You're expecting him to leave,
Just don't hit it.
but you're covering so much more area than you
Well,
were on a
Even
two-stroke.
the Spark, like Shelby Spark. What is that, stage 2 in that thing? And when you put it in sport
Yeah, I mean,
mode,
it was a legit, IROC boat.
you that thing in sport mode, and it was zippy.
Yeah, it was running low 50s. You know, you're
It was
talking.
zippy.
You know, I mean, but it's a difference with the bigger, more popular boats, the RXs, the GTXs, the FX class, the Yamaha GP class, the Cowie Ultras. They cover so much water, so much area in such a quick period of time that you really do have to limit them. You know, you have to
Yeah,
limit
but
the
then
top
that
speed.
only lasts until it gets off the showroom floor.
Yeah, because they're obviously very easy to modify, and there's a whole host of different options out there,
Which
and
the Coast Guard can't control.
yeah, I mean they're never going to regulate the aftermarket. I mean, look, Riva sells you know
Wow.
there's so many performance
That's what
kits.
John just said. He's like, GP 1800, you only need a tune, and you're doing 81 from Riva.
and
A tune and a prop.
yeah, and that's
you're torquing.
and that's huge. I mean, when you got to think about it, when you have people that don't belong on a vessel, a GP 1800 is a purpose-built race boat. A lot of people ride them recreationally, but that boat was made, it was designed to run close course.
Right.
It-
And I've said it before, because you can buy it doesn't mean you should belong on it.
And
I mean, just because you can go buy a GT 500, you can buy a brand new Vet, or you can buy a brand new Hellcat, or used in any of those, obviously, doesn't mean you belong behind the wheel.
it doesn't mean you possess the ability to actually
Well,
pilot that.
Here
Ask
comes-
Progressive or Allstate or any of the
Here comes the
insurance
theory
companies how
behind-
that works out.
Here comes the theory behind it. You're ruining my fun. Respectively,
Right.
I'm
right.
saying, if I'm a person that likes, I'm a need for speed kind of person, you're ruining my fun.
And that's
What do
fine.
you say to somebody like that?
I say, hey, go out and have all the fun you want. Just be careful and cognizant. I think that's where what most riders don't understand, and what we try and stress when we teach the safe boater course here in New York State is, you have to ride within your ability. And a lot of people have a hard time.
Well, the problem is sometimes you don't learn what your ability is until you chat in your
yeah,
pants.
yeah, until you get until you
or,
get yeah.
There's
or you're
been
not living.
numerous times in the lake or in the river, you're cruising on these supercharged boats close to 70, and we've had them obviously tweaked, so you're above that threshold, and the wave comes out of nowhere, and I don't care who you are. You better be ready for that wave, and most riders can't
You're
do
no
it.
more Captain America. You're Superman.
Hey, listen, we just did a safe boater course last week. We instructed the safe boater course, and we were there a little bit early. And the sheriff pulled up a video on YouTube, and he goes, "You're not going to believe this." And it's a bass boat, and the bass boat cross washes just like
Yeah.
a jet ski does.
Hell yeah,
Just.
they do.
Just like the hull of a jet ski cross washes and ejects someone. This bass boat cross washes. The guy ends up on the shore and then back out onto the lake or river that he was on. It can happen to any vessel at any time.
We've done it.
And I think he ripped off that outdrive.
Oh, he
Oh,
had
I'm
to
sure.
destroy that. He had to have
But
destroyed that.
we've done it plenty of times. At my buddy Matt's boat, you get going around 50, 60 miles an hour on a bass boat, it's a new ball game. Or on a Triton boat, a new 21-foot Triton, the motor is the prop is the only thing
in the water.
water.
Yeah, and I think that's the
So-
danger, back to that why do they limit it question, because you got to figure if you're on a boat that's doing 75, 80, 82, 83 miles an hour, and that boat cross washes, the operator is really going to get hurt. And whomever that vessel, it's like a projectile, like a
Well,
missile.
did you ever see that video? I wish I had it. Where they're riding in that big boat, and it looks like there's 4 or 5 of them.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they slam.
And they
Yeah,
just
and the
boom,
guy
boom,
gets
boom.
knocked out.
All of them are
The
just
guy's knocked out. Yeah, I mean that
got to be what they were doing.
yeah, that happens more than people would realize. And again, it just goes back to riding within your abilities and really learning the machine. And I think the good thing is, as we're talking, there's a lot of people that aren't racers that have race boats, just like there are a lot of street bike riders that have Gixxer 1000s.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Same thing.
Once you learn to control it and you learn how to ride it, you know, it's not as much of a danger, but it's getting those boats in the hands of people that don't know what they're doing, have no respect for the machine.
Look at here's the case scenario. Get on the lake, you're always gonna get an asshole. What do you do about it? I mean,
Yep.
I yell at them.
Yeah,
What's the worst you're gonna do? Beat me up?
no, I hear you. I
mean-
think it's it's a problem within the community that the community really needs to start.
I mean, look at the
And that's part of law enforcement right there.
the boat launches when we're launching at the campground.
Any boat
How
launch.
many people are going through? I don't know, 15 miles an hour when it's a no wake zone.
Yeah, and how many people just mad at when they're less than 100 100 feet from shore? There's so many. You're right. It's the small segment of the recreational riders that aren't courteous, that don't possess knowledge or any type of riding ability, that ruin it for the rest of us. There's a lot of good. I mean, we say it all the time. A lot of the people that we ride with and that we know are very good, aware, you know, courteous operators that have good boat control. And I mean, that's one thing we're teaching intern right now. Forget doing anything else. Forget learning the starting procedure for racing, learning how to approach a corner, what to do in the apex, how to exit it. Forget that. Get boat control. The most important thing for any operator is boat control. When you
Well,
have boat control.
Like White Man Can't Jump. You ever watch that movie?
Yeah, yeah.
It's easy to look good. Doesn't mean you can shoot and make the basket. You know what I mean?
But you're right. You're right.
You can put on any Speedo and probably look okay. But it doesn't mean you can ride.
It really is about developing that degree of boat control that's
one of the
important.
things that
Buddha body.
Buddha body. One of the things that doesn't make any sense to me is why in the hell would you get on a jet ski without having a PFD?
Oh, there's hundreds of videos out there.
It's just
But why?
It's just unbelievable.
Like, I don't even like getting on my kayak,
Dude.
and if I hit some rapids in the creek and I fall off and smash my head, I know that my vest is going to
But
save my life.
most of those are not in the States.
But
Oh, okay.
Those videos are not filmed in the States.
but
So you don't have the United States Coast Guard throwing down regulations saying, yes, you must wear
And they're not even
a life
that
jacket.
They're not even that expensive.
no, and I mean, you can get a nice jet pilot from Watercraft Superstore for less than $75. Top of the line jet pilot. Side entry, extra chest protection,
And they
great vest for less
They
than
always
75
have a
bucks.
ton of stuff like on clearance,
Oh,
so you don't even have to pay. You don't have to pay $80.
I mean, you can get probably, I mean, in my opinion, the best life jacket on the market, the side entry jet pilot, side buckle, side entry
Yeah.
at Watercraft Superstore, shipped to your house for less than $75. And people, you're right. I mean, it's funny that you referenced that because remember the blue GTI Sea-Doo that I sold last year?
Yeah.
We're out on the water. We're right over by Mosquito Bay. And I'm like, it's coming at me. It's my old ski coming towards me. And it's busy. I mean, it had to be one of those days where it's 90 out. And I'm going slow. My old ski is going slow, coming towards me. And I see the life jacket draped over the handlebars on the hood of the ski. And
It wasn't a few minutes later that he was pulled over.
well, it's the kid whose dad I sold it to is riding it with a young girl on the back. So I go straight at him like I'm going to hit him at idle speed. And and I'm like throwing a hand up, and finally it registers with him that I want to talk to him. And I go, "Hey, that's my old ski." And he goes, "Oh, he just starts BSing with me." I go, "Hey, put your effing life jacket on. What are you doing, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just cruising." And I'm like, "You're not. It's I couldn't even like it. I was having such a hard time processing it. I'm like, dude, you can't ride that. It's illegal to ride a. And the kid's just oblivious. He's a young kid. He doesn't know any better. I did crazier
He's showing
shit.
off.
Yeah, exactly. But to your point, Mel, I mean, how can you not have a life jacket on? And Jody's right. It was less than 5 minutes. That kid was pulled over by law enforcement. because what he did is he put it on, and he had to be Joey Cool. He didn't strap it. He didn't secure it tightly. He just had it on like it was it's like he's. But it's unbelievable that basic safety procedures, people just a segment of the community doesn't want to follow them. It just has to. Of
And the thing is the cops don't want to pull them over.
course not. It's the
They
last thing.
just, they don't want the repercussions of you not wearing a life jacket.
that and doing the paperwork.
Well, yeah, but
Nobody wants to see somebody pulling a body out of
God,
there because
no.
they drowned.
I mean,
They
No
don't.
way.
look, we work with enough law enforcement guys, and it's funny because both those guys we worked with last week, they're just regular dudes. They're regular dudes, and you're
Oh, yeah.
100% right. That's what I take away from it in talking to them is they do not want to bother stopping you on the water. They don't want to deal with it. If you have all of your safety gear and you're navigating your vessel, within reason, I mean, even if they don't want to pull you over. They don't, but they have to. It's just like the drunk driving laws. Look, when we were kids, 17, 18 years old, you get caught with beer, the cops would take your beer and tell you to go home. Now,
Slap you in the back of the head. Don't forget that
yeah,
part.
exactly. They'd say,
Whoop
if
your
I see you
ass.
again,
Tell your dad.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell your dad and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And that would be, but now what's happened is with all these social host laws and cops wearing body cams and liability, if a cop catches a 17-year-old kid with beer, he can't let him go.
Mm-mm.
He cannot let the kid go. And the same thing applies on the water. If you're going to be stupid enough to do something that's in violation, they can't let you go. But they don't want to. I mean, that's really the.
Well, one of the reason I bring up the PFDs is because we're doing the training course last week,
Yeah,
and we didn't have a ton of people in class due to COVID stuff.
right.
But I think that's one of the few things that isn't in that book enough. It does talk about the different types,
Right.
blah 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 blah, but they don't have training videos. They don't have like what they look like in each situation.
Yeah,
You
there
Well,
is-
can't-
that's why we bring them.
Yeah,
Right,
there-
but-
We bring
well,
them to the
that's-
class.
but you're right.
but
There
you
isn't
can't-
enough
You
emphasis.
can't wear a kayak vest by riding a jet ski.
Right.
It
There
just
is.
doesn't make any sense.
There isn't enough emphasis on it. You're 100% right, and it's fortunately for the personal watercraft industry, here in North America, personal watercraft are required to wear U.S. Coast Guard approved vests, unlike other forms of
countries.
recreational marine vessels. But the good thing is, generally, you see most PWC operators wearing PFDs. Most, not all. In comparison to boaters, rarely do you see a boater with a PFD on. And I think that's one thing that the industry and the manufacturers and law enforcement have really done a good job with personal watercraft is mandating flotation device be worn when you're operating the vessel. But you're right; it's becoming an increasing problem where people just don't pay attention, don't care, and
Well, you're not required to wear a life jacket on a boat unless under a certain age.
underage
But like
And
when I
time.
do
And time.
up
right.
until May 1st here.
May 1st,
right,
right.
right. Well,
If it's under
right.
26 feet, yeah.
October to May,
Right.
you have to wear it.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, when I've done fishing tournaments, you have to have
A
a
vest
life
on.
jacket on if you are moving
Right.
with the motor on.
Yeah.
You have to. It's a
Right.
must, or you'll be disqualified.
Right.
So it's weird that
Right.
maybe that's insurance purposes,
Probably.
but
But you're right, it doesn't apply. You don't see recreational boaters wearing vests when their vessel's underway. Rarely do you see it. And same thing that we said about personal watercraft, you can say about boats. See a lot of boaters operating their boat and they have no clue what they're doing. Clueless. Know nothing about it, extremely dangerous, and that's why, as personal watercraft operators, we have to be more vigilant and realize that for a lot of these boaters, it's a visibility issue. If they don't see another big boat, they're not looking out for it. It's like motorcycles on the street.
Yep, on the street.
Save a life, check twice. Same thing applies for watercraft operators. You really have to be diligent because most boaters don't see us. They just don't see you, and it's really a dangerous thing. So, but getting back to Daytona, anybody who's interested in helping with the in any capacity, torrent pumps, Yamakane, which is as we started to say, Polaris Hurricane, only made for 2 years, that we are converting to a Yamaha power plant. We're putting a Yamaha 760 in at Reaver Red Pipe, donated by Skellett Motorsports.
Shout out to make it reliable.
Where's the build at now? And it's still at the shop, right?
Still at the machine shop. We took our Yamaha. We're building a Yamaha conversion Polaris Hurricane as well, and we had custom bed plates built for it. We had the exhaust cut. The Hayes brothers helped us out with the drive coupler. And then we had to have
the who?
Three Brothers Racing, the Hayes brothers, Rex.
Legend.
Amazing.
That's what I was waiting for.
Bet you guys don't have one of these.
Signed, autographs.
Signed
Can you
autograph.
zoom in on that bad boy.
The man, the myth, the legend.
That's why I
Right
asked
there.
twice. I'm just saying. Not everybody has.
I think you got to flip it around.
Well, zoom it. You can come
Signed,
closer.
autographed.
Go
It
closer
will
to
be
Kevin.
on eBay.
Right.
Someday,
$99.
someday that's going to be a collector's item. Someday it'll be a collector's item. But yeah, back to that. Our Yamaha conversion Polaris Hurricane is at the shop, and they're replicating all of the custom parts that were made for our Hurricane to go into the Daytona Hurricane. So
Our stuff.
yeah, the Watercraft
What-
Network cane.
Which is our stuff.
Yeah, well, that's
You
how we
own a
roll.
Yeah, you own
All
a cane.
That's how we roll, dude.
What's mine is what's yours, and what's yours is mine. Like
What the hell? This ain't no damn marriage.
Sharing
It
is
pretty
caring.
much. Pretty much marriage.
You guys can keep the canes.
Nope.
Look, we know you're a closet cane lover. That's why we got a cane in the garage for you. Granted, it's stripped down to nothing, but eventually we'll
That's
get
the
it.
only cane he'll touch.
Actually, here. Zoom in on Rex's face.
Eventually we'll get a triple in that other cane that we have in the garage. But
John says, what size yammy are we putting
Well-
760.
right in our Polaris Hurricane, we're putting a 701 with a Reaver Red Pipe, and we did that because
we
it's-
had one.
Yeah, we had a spare 701 kicking around.
Well, that, and we didn't want to put, we don't have any more good cane motors. The only good cane
That's
motor
a problem.
is in mine
Problem.
that we rebuilt.
Yeah.
That literally probably cost $1,200.
Oh,
to
you're at
rebuild.
1,500 all day.
At
You got
least.
1,500 into that motor all day. So that's the real answer, John. Is what happened is there's 4 Polaris Hurricanes here, and out of the 4 of them, one of them has a salvageable motor, and that salvageable motor is Mel's Bishop's Hurricane, which has brand new WSM crankshaft, WSM pistons, all SBT Watercraft Superstore Generation 3 electronics. I mean, it's got a GP 760 water box. It's got new impeller. It's ready to hit the water with literally brand new. The other
It'll float.
That's all I'm worried about.
the other 3 that we have,
I'll be kicking from the back.
the other 3 Polaris Hurricanes that we have here, one of which is Daytona's, belongs to Torrent Pumps. None of those Polaris motors are salvageable. They're just so far gone that it's not
What was
worth
that?
it.
I don't know. Somebody said something about being Jody's. The other one's Jody's. I don't know.
Oh, Jody's cane. We'll eventually find. For Jody's cane, we'll eventually find. We're hoping to find a Kawasaki triple. If not, we'll jump. If not, we'll find a Yamaha Wave Raider 1100, and we'll drop a Yamaha triple in there.
Look, there's nothing that compares. I know this is totally off subject, but that Huracan,
Oh, the Huracan R.
dude, when we got to ride that, I'll never be able to ride a regular Hurricane ever again.
Without thinking of the Huracan R.
Like, why isn't it going fast enough?
Any of you who haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. go visit Team Faith.
Sorry, it was off topic.
Yeah,
I was squirrel.
or look at the Huracan R.
This whole night has been squirrel.
Really an amazing vessel based off of the Polaris
Squirrel.
Hurricane platform. But the Huracan R is incredibly impressive. And expect to see those, excuse me.
Listen, if we can't have fun doing this, I don't want to do it no more.
Hey, dude, we can't, look, we love the sport, we love the community, but we have a hard time taking ourselves seriously, never mind anyone else. But in all seriousness, check out the Huracan R because that's something to take seriously. That's like a purpose. I mean, it's funny because you see all these people out there building triple blasters and triple HXs, and
that thing's just angry.
You
hear that thing run, it is angry.
You take that Huracan R and match it up to, other than very few triple conversions in this country. Don't get me wrong, there's a handful of them that are really badass blasters.
Mm-hmm.
Really. But that Huracan R is going to run with anything. It's just an amazing vessel, and we're fortunate.
Put the right rider on that.
Oh, yeah.
We were in Hartwell, in the water, on the opposite side of that track, and that thing was coming ripping by. It was like,
it's impressive.
Yeah,
it's an impressive platform.
So, no, I think it's great. But so, what else do we got to talk about?
I don't know. I was going to say we're pushing close on time.
Yeah, look, we gave some love to Watercraft Superstore SPT.
Yeah, we did. Liquid Molly.
Yeah, huge love going out to Liquid Molly. Liquid Molly, title sponsor of the Pro Watercross 2020.
If you ain't heard about Liquid Molly yet, you got to get off underneath that rock.
It's PFD over your head.
Well, it's funny because Liquid Molly's is now really affiliated with most events that you see happening here throughout the country. The Pro Watercross events, Daytona Free Ride, Wave Days, Brave the Wave, Belly Buster. I mean, all of the Liquid Molly has such a presence, and it's because of the caliber of the product. If you look at
well, here's the thing. Look, even with the photo in the background, there's a lot of money in the background photo. You're entrusting Liquid Molly's oil in those machines, but that's minor to what Liquid Molly oil actually runs into.
Oh, when you're talking, yeah, Turner Motorsports, one of the premier road racing organizations or entities in the entire country. That AMG Mercedes, Formula One,
$200,000 plus cars.
Yeah, you're talking, for those of you that
at what heat, at what speeds.
Yeah,
yeah, but I'm talking just regular, like anybody can go buy $200,000 plus cars. They're coming in factory.
With Liquid Molly, if I can get a $200 car
tank.
with my credit.
Yeah, and look, you talk about pushing a machine in terms of performance. Anybody out there who's a MotoGP fan knows who Valentino Rossi is. Legendary crotch rocket racer. Those MotoGP one bikes, what are they pushing for RPMs? Seriously,
14,000.
I was going to say they got to be 12, 15,000 RPMs easily. They're running Liquid Molly, and you're not talking they go out there and they run a quarter mile. These guys run laps, hard laps.
Them boys run hard,
real hard. I mean, you're talking speeds close to 200 miles an hour in a controlled environment on a track.
2 wheels.
These guys are
that fast.
These guys are running close to 15,000 RPMs. WFO, wide open throttle, and they're running Liquid Molly product. And the same thing, Formula One. You look at all of these high-end cars: Mercedes, Volvo, BMW, Audi, Acura, Porsche. They're all speccing Liquid Molly products. It's not just some anomaly that now all of a sudden you see Sam Nemi at Broward Motorsports getting involved with Liquid Molly. It's no secret that a lot of these machines are running lower temperatures, lower operating temperatures.
It's funny. Now that I went to place where they had other brand of oil. You look, and I just giggle.
Yeah.
I'm like, we used to use that.
And what's even funnier is when you because if you're unfamiliar with the Liquid Moly product line, and then you go somewhere and you see Liquid Moly being used, on other, like where I take my vehicles just to get oil changed, tires rotated. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I was actually getting an inspection sticker, and Liquid Moly product came in, and I was like, no, and it was obviously, I mean, they service all makes and models, but there's regularly BMWs, Volvos, nice luxury cars there. And what do they get for a delivery while I'm in the waiting room? Liquid Moly. I just thought it was funny.
I'm surprised you didn't do a live.
You normally, yeah, I should have.
Hey, you guys got a minute?
Yeah,
Did you get the oil change in that VW Bug?
VW Bug.
Yeah, that VW Bug that you daily drive in.
Oh no, I
Little
Is that
don't.
what you were
turbo?
getting inspected?
Oh no, I only rock that. You know what I do is I get my mullet, my visor with the mullet hair, and I crank up some. I prefer
White snake?
no, I prefer poison,
Oh.
and I roll the windows down. And if I were a little bit younger, I may consider lighting up a doob, and just rock that bug around the neighborhood.
It's legal in New York now.
Hey, that's right, right, recreationally legal.
I
yeah.
heard that.
But also got to give some love, WSM Performance Products. Here's how good WSM Performance Products are. Their crankshafts and a
Yeah.
lot of their internal engine components are out until June.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get a WSM 701 crankshaft right now
Nope.
until June.
I'm just glad my ski is done.
Yeah, you
I'm so glad.
got a nice WSM
Well,
crank.
when I was talking to Tom from Hot Products, there was 45 on order, and I think 30 of them are already pre-sold.
Damn.
This goes to show the quality right there
As soon as they show up, they're gone.
This goes to show the quality of WSM Performance Products. Just amazing, amazing internal engine components, and you should really be your one-stop shop. In terms of anything else personal watercraft related that you need, Watercraft Superstore. Look, we say it all the time. Over 10,000 OEM products in stock. Talking earlier about that Jet Pilot vest, side entry, side buckle, best vest on the market. You can order it right now from Watercraft Superstore for less than $75, delivered to your house.
And a Jet Pilot tour coat.
Tour coat, keep you nice and warm in that early spring water. But anything you need, anything watercraft related, Watercraft Superstore, your one-stop shop. I mean, they have it all. And the nice thing about Watercraft Superstore, we've said this before, customer service second to none. Absolutely incredible. We've actually received telephone calls from Watercraft Superstore saying, hey, did you order this? Because it was such an obscure part, and it's not something that someone typically orders. But you are not going to find better customer service and better product selection in this entire community.
It was
other than,
probably something about one of the canes then.
well, I think it
Who the
was
hell
related to
owns
the
one
cane.
of these in this country?
No,
Did you order something?
They had to wipe the dust off the box.
I think it actually was a cane steering or throttle cable.
See
And
what
they're
I'm
like,
saying?
hey, this is.
Nobody buys this.
Are you guys sure that you wanted this?
Did you order this shit?
You realize if you cross that number,
But
now,
but really, Watercraft Superstore, like we said, everybody's getting ready to get in the water. All you Midwest riders, all of us Northeast, Northwest, everybody's getting itchy to jump in the water. Water's going to be
We
cold.
ain't getting in the water until June.
Yeah, I'm not getting in until June at the earliest. Stuff's cold up here. Make sure you have your safety gear. Make sure you have everything you need. Watercraft Superstore, your one-stop shop. We're back next Wednesday.
squirrel.
Yeah.
What do you think, Biggie? You're gonna send him out with a
Squirrel.
little rhyme?
Nah, we'll wait for next week.
No, he's not gonna freestyle right now. He's not.
No.
Oh my
He's not gonna
God.
throw you a teaser. So we're back next Wednesday. Stay safe out there.
We'll come up with a little rhyme for him for next week.
Sounds like we got something to look forward to.